Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I get the question through social media all the time, how do I become a plus size model? How do I break into the industry? Just kind of like the questions of like, where do you get started? And so instead of typing up the paragraph a billion times to a billion different people, I thought I'd make a simple video so everyone could watch it that wants to know the advice that I'm giving to everyone that asks me. So let's get started. So here's kind of like, I don't want to say, like, I hate being negative, but here's like the downsides of becoming a plus size model or trying to break into the industry. The first one is you don't get paid for a lot of the work you do in the beginning. Basically, you're gonna do a lot of trade for print, and trade for print means that you're gonna take pictures and you're gonna be able to post them on social media and stuff, but in saying that you're not getting paid, but you get to own the photos and use them. But you know, it's a great way to start your portfolio and really like build your career, and to be able to get paid later on. You know, you work there, you work to get the higher end jobs and the bigger companies, and just like anything else really. Basically, in saying that, it's not like a steady income unless, you know, obviously, like I said, you're higher up in the chain as you move on in your career, but it's not a steady real income at first, and you never know when you're gonna book a job. Like I said, because it's not a steady job, you're not gonna wake up one morning and go, oh, I wanna be a plus size model, I'm gonna quit my job today. In saying that, you do have a day job, whether you go to school or you work at night or whenever it is, or whatever you do, you gotta, you know, have a flexible schedule so that you could plan around auditions, or you can plan around calls and shoots and all the kind of weird stuff that comes up. And you gotta make sure that you're pretty flexible, so because everything doesn't revolve around you, obviously, the shoot and everyone there. So being as flexible as possible is great. Because you are doing work for free, and just work in general, you're traveling a lot. So you are traveling, I, for example, lived in Orange County at the time, and so I was traveling all the way to San Diego, all the way to LA, all the time. I put tens of thousands of miles on my car. And not to mention, when I was first starting out and wasn't getting paid for jobs and work, I was like, put that into factor as money. You are paying almost in a sense to be at this shoot. You're paying for your gas, you're paying for your miles. You have to get there somehow, right? Some people mind this, some people don't. You are gonna be standing around a lot. People, like, makeup and hair takes like 3 hours. People think like, oh, half an hour this, like, you're gonna be in makeup and hair for like 3 hours, and then finally you're gonna get to the shoot, and you never know what's gonna be on set, honey, okay? Like, you could be posing with anyone, anything. So be prepared, I guess, in a sense, to like get uncomfortable and do things that you've never done before. But for some people that can be a con, because some people are uncomfortable with going out their comfort zone. But let's be real, you're not gonna get anywhere in life not going outside your comfort zone, so push your limits. But definitely, like I said, that can be a con for some people. The long standing, so if you're standing in heels for like 3 to 8 hours on set, like, take that into factor too. Another thing is, sometimes you go to shoots, and like I said, you put in the miles, you put in the gas, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and sometimes you did all of that and they don't even use the photos, and you can't post them, and they're not gonna give them to you. So sometimes it sucks, but it does happen where they'll just like either scrap the editorial piece or the blog post or whatever they're using the photos for. So you're just kind of like, shoot. So that kind of sucks, but it happens. So be prepared to, not let down, but, you know, crazy stuff happens. You move on. So now we're gonna transition into the pros, or obviously the bright sides of modeling, which obviously it doesn't need too much explaining, but I just want to go over it. So the transition, though, I do want to say is basically like, you really need to love wanting to be a plus size model, it really needs to be something that you're super passionate about and that you really want to help spread plus size awareness and really break those boundaries and, you know, push fashion barriers. It's not about it is about like the clothes and the makeup overall, like the photo shoot is. But in a sense, right now, the plus size industry is just, you know, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, no pun intended. You basically need to really love it and support the community so that it can grow strong and it's not just something you do just for fun. It really has like a driven message behind it because that's really how you're gonna succeed. Obviously, the pros of starting off in the plus size modeling industry and the industry in general is that you progress. So obviously you're gonna go from getting simple jobs and then you're gonna go and you're gonna get booked and your resume is gonna get bigger and this and that. So obviously life is gonna start growing and growing. And then that can lead to an agency, that could lead to a manager, you know, that could lead to a bunch of things. So if you really are open to the growth process, there's different categories you could spread off into and make your career even bloom more. Second thing I wrote down, and my favorite obviously, is you get to uplift people in general. Like nothing, I swear to God, and I'm not just saying this, is better when people message you and tell you like specific things you did to, like, I don't know. I have so many people come up to me that like for example, I have people that come up to me at school and are like, oh my God, the other day I saw you wear this see-through dress and it just gave me so much confidence and I wore a tank top the next day. It's literally like simple things like that. I inspired someone by what I wore in a picture, in a YouTube video, and whatever. I inspire something I wore, not in just a material way, but as a person. I inspired them to be more confident. I inspired them to grow. And so fashion and being a plus size model and all of that can really inspire other people in ways that are just more than material ways. So it's really fun and it's really cool to hear people's stories and how you inspired them and how you helped them grow. It's the best part, really, I swear to God. You get to travel to new places. So obviously that was like kind of like a little bit of a con, but like that is a bright side. You get to travel to new places, see new things. I mean, I love going to new cities and I love seeing all the restaurants around and the museums. It's like a nice little character. So definitely traveling, I love to do that, and that's definitely a perk of seeing different areas. So you, as a plus size model, are a blank canvas. This is not about you. You do not pick your makeup, you do not pick your hair unless it's, you know, your own photo shoot. But in saying that, you get to be almost dressed up as different characters. So you get to express different styles, and within that you might find a style or something that you really love. So it's really cool to explore your options of like how you want to dress, how you might style something different. Definitely totally cool. You get to meet people with the same interests as you, so that's always the best because, you know, not everyone can relate to all of their friends, especially like in being a model, you don't really have co-workers, so you make other fellow model friends. So when you get on sets and you meet with the makeup artists and the photographers and other models, you know, some of those have become like my lifelong friends or really close friends, and just in general, great people that I can talk to, and, you know, I love it. So you get to meet new people, it's really fun. And lastly, 6, obviously it's fun. So, I mean, if you have the right attitude and everything is going well on set, I mean, it can turn out to be a really great fun thing. And I like to think when I'm on set, I always like to really take the energy and project it into the future. So sometimes I might not be on like the set of Cosmopolitan, but you know, like I'm having the energy like, bitch, I'm on Vogue, honey, and I might be doing like the dumbest shoot ever, but you got to channel that energy because it's definitely going to help you in the future and give you future success. So I'm going to end with tips, and my first one is you need to invest in yourself. So here's kind of like how you go about like getting into the industry in itself, I guess. So you need to invest in yourself. My first tip always is you need to have your own shoot. You just do. You need to have something to show someone that you can do what needs to be done, which is pose, which is take a photo, which is translate emotion. It's all of that. So you definitely need to like get a first shoot. I recommend 3 to 5 looks so that people can see like you in different styles and really get a feel of like where you might fit or what you look best in. So definitely have your own shoot and start your portfolio, and then just you can get work from that. My next tip is don't be afraid to be a little unconventional. So me personally, I started modeling, plus size modeling in 7th grade, and so I found jobs at that time. MySpace was happening, so I got a few jobs from MySpace, and then I like took a break really quick when I started high school. But then, my sophomore year of high school, I got back into modeling. I stopped for like a year, and then basically after that, the internet was, popping with all new types of social media in like 1 year. Basically, get on Facebook, get on Craigslist is how I started finding other jobs. And definitely be safe. I'm not saying every job on Craigslist is like a modeling job. It could be a scam, so definitely be safe. Feel out the ones that are legit. Talk to the people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're gonna be at a shoot, you need to know time, you need to know hair, you need to know what your nails look like, you need to know all those details. So if a person isn't answering your questions, it might be a little bit shady, but definitely Craigslist, you can try for plus size modeling jobs. And don't be afraid to go on Instagram and maybe hit up like a local photographer and say like, hey, can we do like a trade? Like I'll model for you, you can use it in your portfolio, and I'll use the photos for my portfolio. Sometimes that works out, so don't be afraid to do trade for print in a sense in your own local community. My next tip is follow the brands you want to model for. You never know, especially in the plus size industry, when they're going to put out a model call. Ever. It could be a multi-million-dollar brand, or it could be a small brand. Sometimes all of them just will post like model call, and that's how I've gotten a few jobs too. And you email, send your photos, send your information, and so make sure you're following the brands and people that you want to be associated with or you would like to align with yourself one day. It's definitely helpful, and you never know what you're going to see on their social media because you could be their model one day. So that's always super cool. My next tip, it is almost as important it isn't tie of importance with my first tip, which was you need to invest in yourself. My second one is you need to study your poses. I cannot tell you how many times I've been on set and maybe there's just like other models that it's maybe their first time shooting or they don't do it regularly, and it takes us the process 10 times longer because they don't study their craft. So definitely go to the models that you like, check out the magazines, look like how are they getting light, like where is it coming from, what poses are your best poses. Not everyone looks good doing the same pose. How can you make it look different? How can you put a spin on it? There's movements. It's not even just posing. Like sometimes you just like move back and forth. You're like action photos. So definitely, this is where selfies definitely come in handy, ladies. Practice those facials, get a mirror, stand in your mirror, do whatever you want. Make sure that you are constantly practicing, I guess, in a sense, your facials and your posing. Really understand your body. It helps, and it will definitely make a world of difference and translate on camera very well, I promise. And my last tip is have fun. But I'm not just saying like have fun there, but definitely live and soak in the moment. Really capture your here and the now. I feel like I go on so many sets and then the day ends and I'm just like, what just happened? And I have like photos and I know I had fun, but like, it's not like it's a blur, but I could have took more in. So really take in your experience and have the time and things you want to really believe in, because like I said, that energy will push you forward and faster to places you want to go and goals you want to meet. So Yay. So thank you for watching my video. I really hope it was helpful, and I really hope my experience and my conversations with other plus size models have helped you. The tips, the pros, the cons, the high, the lows, you know, yada, yada, yada. So thank you for watching, and I definitely hope you all have a fun time starting your plus size careers or just watching this video. Thank you.